You can finally binge TV's best new crime thriller series in full. So here's the truth no one's saying out loud. We've just witnessed one of the most shocking comebacks in TV history. And it's finally binge ready. But let me ask you, when was the last time you watched a crime thriller that made you physically angry you had to wait another week? Like actually pacing your room, checking your phone for leaks angry. Because Dexter, Resurrection didn't just bring back a cult classic, it dragged us into a labyrinth of secrets that you can now devour in one sitting. And trust me, this isn't just another streaming drop, it's forbidden knowledge hiding in plain sight. Now, full disclosure, I made the mistake of watching it live. Week by week. Torture, like watching a magician lock themselves in a box underwater, and then forcing yourself not to blink until they escape. And the craziest part, every time you thought the trick was over, boom, another twist. But here's the kicker, if you've been waiting, if you've been lurking in the shadows thinking, I'll catch up when it's done, your time has come. The whole season is out. All 10 episodes. One bloody puzzle box waiting to be cracked. But here's the problem no one's addressing, and it's the exact reason you need to pay attention right now. We've been burned before. Dexter, New Blood promised redemption and left us shattered. Original Sin was renewed and then brutally axed before it could even breathe. Paramount has a history of dangling hope like bait and then snapping the line. So here's the tension, you can binge Resurrection now, but will there even be a season 2? And if not, are we walking into heartbreak all over again? And listen, if you're here because you love digging into the darkest corners of TV like I do, then you already know what I'm about to say next. Subscribe to Breakdown Epic right now, because this isn't just a channel, it's a vault of secrets. We're unlocking hidden details, crazy theories, and all the forbidden knowledge that the showrunners don't want you connecting. One click, and you're inside the circle. Let's talk about the binge. Because Resurrection isn't just good TV, it's a masterclass in manipulation. Each episode ends like someone's ripped out the last page of a book and told you to wait a week for the sequel. And yet, binging it now. That's the ultimate hack. You're sidestepping the agony the live watchers went through. It's like you've been handed the forbidden map we had to draw blindfolded. Michael C. Hall sliding back into Dexter's skin is almost too perfect. Watching him prowl restaurants, suburban corners, and alleyways again, he doesn't even need dialogue half the time. You feel the hunger in every glance. And then there's Angel Batista. The man who knows too much. Their cat and mouse dynamic. It's not just nostalgia. It's the weaponized suspense the franchise always needed. And now you don't have to wait to see it unfold. But the real secret, Resurrection isn't about Dexter killing bad guys. That's the surface. The bait. What it's really doing is testing whether we, the audience, can stomach another dance with the darkness. Because let's be honest, Dexter's Code always made us complicit. We're rooting for a killer. We're cheering for someone we'd run from in real life. That's the forbidden contract we signed, and Resurrection shoves that contract back in our faces. Imagine this, you sit down for just one episode. Suddenly it's 3 a.m., and you're whispering to yourself, just one more. And here's the funny part, I did that exact thing. I thought I'd skim an early screener just for notes. Next thing I know, I'm on episode 7, staring at Harrison like, kid, you're about to ruin everything again, aren't you? Self-control. Yeah, I lost that blood slide years ago. And let's not ignore the elephant in the room. We've all been asking, why should we trust the franchise again? Why should we risk another letdown? Well, here's my answer. Because Resurrection finally does what crime thrillers are supposed to do. It makes you paranoid. It makes you second guess every glance, every word, every silence. That's the difference between a show and an obsession. But here's the twist that no article's really spelling out. The ending of season 1 isn't an ending at all. It's a dare. Threads left dangling like fresh kills on a table. The New York Ripper waiting in the wings. Harrison's shadow hanging over every decision. Harry's ghost whispering in Dexter's ear. This isn't closure. It's bait. And the fact that Paramount hasn't locked down season 2 yet. That's not just risky, that's dangerous. Now, I want to throw this at you. What's your binge strategy? Do you marathon the whole thing in one sitting? No bathroom breaks, pure chaos mode? Or are you a 2 episodes a night type, stretching the suspense like you're savoring the last meal? Drop it in the comments. I need to know how unhinged this fanbase really is. And if you did watch it live like me, be honest. Did you scream when Batista showed up? Because I did. Loudly. My neighbors now think I was the one being hunted. And that brings us to the biggest secret of all. The one you only notice when you watch it straight through. Resurrection isn't just telling a story. It's building a trap. Every episode plants clues for the next. Like Dexter leaving blood slides behind just daring someone to follow. When you binge it, those patterns snap into place like puzzle pieces. You see the full picture the weekly viewers never could. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Here's the part nobody is brave enough to say out loud. Dexter, Resurrection might actually be the most dangerous crime thriller to binge right now. Not because of the gore, not because of the kills, but because once you start, you lose all sense of time. You forget food, you forget sleep, and suddenly your brain is wired like Dexter hunting his next victim. And maybe that's the point. Maybe the show is testing us, seeing if we can resist the same compulsions Dexter himself can't. Now, let's rip open one of the forbidden truths. Watching Resurrection all in one go reveals a pattern that's hidden in plain sight. Each kill, each conversation, each shadow isn't random. It's building a rhythm. Dexter's cycle of control and chaos is mirrored in the editing, in the structure. It's almost like the writers are coding us, training us to think like him. That's why binging doesn't just feel satisfying, it feels inevitable. You're not just watching Dexter anymore, you're becoming him. And here's where it gets wild. The show's biggest villain might not even be the New York Ripper. Oh no, the real villain is silence. Watch closely. Every time Dexter hesitates, every pause before a decision, that's when resurrection hits you hardest. That's when your pulse spikes. It's that forbidden space where anything could happen. And in binge mode, that silence doesn't fade. It snowballs. Episode after episode, those moments pile up until you're living in the tension, addicted to the quiet as much as the chaos. But let me ask you this, what's the risk of diving so deep into a killer's psyche? Are we still watching a story, or are we feeding a darker instinct in ourselves? Because let's be real, we don't root for Dexter because he's a good guy. We root for him because he gives us permission to imagine crossing the line, and Resurrection leans into that harder than ever, watching it all at once. That's not just entertainment, it's a mirror. Here's a little self-own. I told myself I'd be objective. Take notes, keep it professional. Yeah, right? By episode 9, I had a notebook full of theories, half of them crossed out, and the words, "who's not done yet," circled like a madman. That's the level of obsession we're talking about. And when it ended, I sat there like Batista in that diner scene staring off like, did that really just happen? Now mid-video check, and I need you to be brutally honest in the comments. If you've binged it, did you catch the Easter egg in episode 4 with the slide box? Because if you didn't, you missed a piece of forbidden knowledge the writers tucked in plain sight. And if you did catch it, don't spoil it, just drop a sly. I saw it, so I know you're one of the sharp ones. Let's see how many of you are paying attention like Dexter himself. And speaking of secrets, let's talk about the season 1 ending. No spoilers, but I will say this, it's not closure. It's a loaded gun sitting on the table. The show dares us to stare at it, knowing it will go off in season 2, except, here's the nightmare, season 2 isn't guaranteed. Paramount's hesitation is like dangling meat in front of a starving animal. They have gold and they're acting like it's scrap metal. Think about it, why would they cancel Original Sin after renewing it? And then risk leaving Resurrection dangling too? The conspiracy theories write themselves. Maybe they're scared of how far this show is willing to go. Maybe they're testing us, measuring the binge numbers before pulling the trigger. Or maybe, here's my theory, they're deliberately creating scarcity, making Resurrection the forbidden fruit of streaming, something so rare you have to talk about it, and that's where you come in. Yes, you. Because whether or not we get Resurrection season 2 depends on whether fans make noise. If we binge it, share it, dissect it, force Paramount to see the blood on their hands, they'll have no choice. This is one of those moments where the fandom decides the fate of the franchise. And if we stay quiet, Dexter's second resurrection could be buried alive. Let's lighten it up for a second. Imagine explaining to a non-fan why you're obsessed with a show about a serial killer. Oh yeah, I'm rooting for the guy who stabs people, but it's okay, he only stabs bad people. Sounds insane, right? That's the meme-level absurdity of Dexter. It's like saying, don't worry, my cat only scratches people who deserve it, but we buy it hook, line, and sinker. And Resurrection knows exactly how ridiculous that contract is, and still makes us sign it. Now if you're a longtime fan, you know the trauma of that infamous original finale, Lumberjack Dexter, beard, flannel, despair, the meme that won't die. Resurrection wipes that slate clean. It says, forget the trees, come back to the shadows. And when you binge it, that feeling of redemption hits harder. It's not just a comeback, it's a correction. But here's the haunting thought I'll leave you with, what if Resurrection is a setup, not a payoff? What if season 1 was the bait, and the real game hasn't even started? Watching it all now, back to back, you'll see the groundwork, the whispers, the cracks, the betrayals waiting to happen, and the scariest part. You'll realize Dexter isn't the only one being hunted, we are. Our patience, our loyalty, our willingness to forgive the franchise, it's all being tested. So, final call to action, binge it, talk about it. Share your theories. And for the love of Harry, tell me in the comments, did you catch the foreshadowing with Harrison's watch? Because if you did, you're officially cursed with the same obsession I am. And hey, Paramount, if you're watching this, stop playing games. Lock in season 2. Don't make us Batista stare into the void again.